one of YouTube's most entertaining forms. I'm talking, of course, of YouTube conspiracy videos. Science fiction for people who don't understand they're watching science fiction. Whenever I see a YouTube conspiracy video, I am overcome with jealousy. I mean, first, there's a wave of, this guy has to be fucking kidding, right? But then it's jealousy at the sheer scale of imagination required to believe that the Denver airport was designed by the Illuminati or that Katy Perry is actually John Benet Ramsey all grown up. Both real theories, by the way, and better than any joke I could ever devise in a million years. Now, of course, any great internet conspiracy video needs two key things. One, a wild claim that something we take for granted is actually the responsibility of robots, aliens, or US presidents who are also robots or aliens. And two, you need an eye for incredibly specific detail and an ability to make wild accusations with complete confidence.
Welcome back to another Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I started tonight's episode with a clip from a rant done by a comedian that I used to respect, but now recognize as a tool of the establishment, John Oliver, about how crazy us conspiracy theorists actually are. Now, to be fair to conspiracy theorists like me, and allow for equal time, I'll play a clip from a comedian that I do still admire on the very same topic.
There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media news, all the big media companies. So they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. You know something? They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table to figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back, so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Man, you know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
I played those clips because tonight we're going to talk about conspiracy theories themselves, and whether or not it's actually crazy at all to be a so-called conspiracy theorist. Let's start off by looking at the term conspiracy theorist and its roots. The term conspiracy theorist was a term made popular by the CIA to stop critical thinkers from asking questions about the JFK assassination. In a memo released called Countering Criticism of the Warren Report, the CIA set out to make the term conspiracy theorist a weapon to be used against anyone who questioned the government's secret activities and programs. Let's look at the actual meanings of the words. Conspiracy is a secret plan made by two or more people to do something that is harmful or illegal, and theory is an idea or set of ideas that is intended to explain facts or events. So the term itself is a nonsense term invented to discredit any critical thought about any event that may take place because a sane person would just believe what their government and media had told them. The problem with that is our media and government are corrupt to their core and have been caught lying multiple times. In my opinion, in this time of lies, it's much saner to question things than it is to just accept everything that you're told, especially when the sources of that knowledge have so often been proven to be dangerously unreliable. But people love to mock, and conspiracy theorists are an easy target, and I find that to be very sad. Not only because we are so often proven right by history, but also because I think it's just naive to believe that rich and powerful people wouldn't conspire to not only keep but grow their power and influence. The truth of it is, conspiracies are common and have been around forever. They exist on the smallest of levels and may most certainly exist among the highest of levels. To think otherwise is to simply be wrong. Now, I've been told that the right and only time to believe a conspiracy is after it's been proven to be true by establishment sources. And I just think that's wrong. I would think that's the safest time for you to believe a conspiracy, but by then, all the damage has been done. Let's use 9/11 for an example for just a second. There's plenty of evidence that the official story is just a bogus cover-up, and millions of people have died as a result of 9/11. But no one is investigating it because only crazy conspiracy theorists believe it wasn't like the government and mass media say it was, so nothing happens. That's why, no, I don't agree that the best time to believe a conspiracy is after the mainstream establishment approves of it, because by then it's too late. I believe that more people should wake up to the deep corruption that is going on in our society and seek out and search and share the truth so that we can get real investigations. I mean, it's all out there. These things are real. There are groups of powerful people who meet up regularly and have memberships in secret societies, like Bohemian Grove.
Time of malevolence which would pursue us here has lost its power under these friendly trees. So shall we burn thee once again this night, and in the flames that eat thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free.
You shall burn me once again! Not with these flames, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign. Ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire.
Thou, Prince of all mortal wisdom, Owl of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel. O great Owl of Bohemia, we thank thee for thy adjuration. Begone, dull care. Fire shall have its will of thee. Begone, dull care. And all the winds victory without doubt. Hail, fellowship's eternal flame. Once again, midsummer sets us free.
There you see the funeral pyre burning with the effigy of a human, or it could be real, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a lot of strange going-ons in that area of Northern California, but this is what the establishment is into right here in America, the cremation of care. And this was July 15th, 2000.
You know, I had someone mock me for talking about Bohemian Grove because it was Alex Jones that got that video. Bohemian Grove is a real place, and very rich and powerful people go there every year. That ceremony you just watched, that's called the cremation of care. They perform that ceremony in front of their god Moloch to cleanse themselves of the guilt of all the things that they've done to us lesser beings over the past year. And that's just one secret organization of the wealthy and powerful. There are many more, such as the Bilderberg Group, Skull and Bones, and the Freemasons. It's naive and foolish to believe that these societies and meetings take place for no other reason than to worship demons. These groups control our world. They feel above us and are above the law. And they hide in plain sight and have the average person convinced that they don't exist. That's a dangerous amount of power. So no, I will not be silent. And I will continue to investigate conspiracies and to make these videos. And it's my hope that you won't be silent either, and that you will share this video with your friends to spread the truth that it's much saner to be into conspiracies than it is to be closed off to them for fear of being mocked. Because us conspiracy theorists are actually the sane ones in the nut house. We're the canaries in the coal mine. We're the only ones trying to get to the actual truth of things and alert others, even though we get attacked for doing so. But we got to keep our heads up, and we got to fight on and spread the truth, especially if we want 1984 to stay a fiction novel, because it's damn near a history book. The direction we're heading in is scary, and the only way to fight back is with the truth. But for those of you who are still skeptical, I'd like to remind you that a lot of people have tried to tell us about these cabals and organizations that I'm talking about. These secret organizations that run everything from behind the scenes. And before you say our government would never do those kind of things, let me remind you that our government did things like Operation Paperclip, where they brought over all the German scientists, that had done horrific things during the Holocaust. I believe our government's responsible for 9/11, but even if you don't, Iraq wasn't. We went to war with them. We almost are still there. We're still in Afghanistan. Afghanistan didn't do 9/11. Operation Northwoods. That was a false flag that was proposed, went all the way up to Kennedy. Luckily, Kennedy shot it down, but that was a proposal to hijack commercial jets and blow them up, blame it on Cuba in order to start a war. I believe that's what happened on 9/11. MK Ultra, another great example of something that came out before it was proven, but ended up being proven that the government was hurting and using drugs and doing horrific things to real people, real Americans. And I just think it's important that we remember that these things started out as conspiracies and ended up being proven true. And if for the Gulf of Tonkin, for instance, if it had been exposed, maybe the Vietnam War could have been avoided. If more people knew the government planned things like Operation Northwoods, maybe they wouldn't happen. And maybe President Kennedy wouldn't be dead if he hadn't tried to disband the CIA. But that's another subject for another episode. So is MK Ultra. I got one of those coming up in the future. Thanks for watching another episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill. While you're here, remember to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notified when we make new videos. Whenever that ends up being, I'll see you guys right back here on Me on Things and Stuff. Thanks for stopping by.